Hey there and welcome to the video today. Today is not going to be a normal video. Actually, it's going to be more of an informational video than a gameplay video. There still will be gameplay in the background for those of you that enjoy the gameplay. I'm no god or anything, but sometimes I get lucky with some things, as you'll see later in the video. No, today's more of an informational video. It's actually a video about nuclear reactors and the disadvantages and advantages. I will be starting with the disadvantages. All the disadvantage information and explanation came from my partner Tyler. I want to note that this video, my explanation, this commentary is strictly on going in depth of the disadvantages and advantages. We had already given you advantages and disadvantages. Now I'm going to just go in depth. If I haven't told you at the beginning of the presentation, I am for the nuclear power plant in Woodstock in Emmerson, and Tyler is against. For those of you that are not here for this commentary, you can go ahead and mute or just watch the video or just not watch the video at all. I mean, it'll hurt my feelings, but it's okay. I also want to point out, this has nothing to do with the project for chemistry. This is just to let my subscribers out there know that I got a new mic. I'm not going to keep it very long. It's just a quick mic that I went and got, so you don't have to keep on listening to my terrible voice and that terrible mic of mine that I use for gameplay. That is my mic for gameplay, for parties, not for commentaries. So I apologize. Anyway, let's get on with the video and me stop babbling about my mic. So as I said, we're going to start with disadvantages, and one disadvantage will be nuclear waste is dirty and harmful to the environment. Yes, this is true. The byproduct of not nuclear fission, the byproduct of uranium and its fission or fissile activity, whatever you want to call it, usually produces plutonium, and that's very harmful and dirty for the environment. It can also sometimes produce other elements that are not radioactive. They aren't harmful as much, but I mean, they can be bad for the environment, and I'll explain why later. Another one is nuclear waste can be around for years to affect people. This has to do with half-life. If it has a long half-life, then obviously it's going to be around much longer than other things. That all depends on the element or the substance or the isotope, all those things, all those chemistry words. That has to do with those types of things. So it really depends on what you're doing, what you're producing, and stuff like that. I couldn't tell you the half-life for substances like plutonium and uranium off the top of my head. I'd have to look that up. So if you have a question about that, go ahead and ask. Hopefully I'll have it in class after the presentation. I'll have the answer. Another disadvantage is nuclear meltdowns could occur, causing radiation to spread. Yeah, hypothetically speaking, yes. If nuclear meltdowns did occur, then radiation will spread. There is a lot of radiation coming from nuclear power plants. That is why they take very big precautions on safety and stuff for those types of things, just to make sure they're not harming the environment or whatnot. That's kind of counteracting, though, the disadvantage. Yeah, let's say that meltdowns are bad, radiation bad, town go extinct. Yeah. I'm trying to say is the radiation from nuclear power plants is very dangerous, and if it were to be released somehow, coincidentally a meltdown, yeah, that'd be very bad for the environment. It could affect all of us. It can poison us. We'd all die, suffer from diseases and whatnot. So yes. Also, another disadvantage is there's a limited amount of uranium. So uranium is a non-renewable resource. You cannot renew it, but it is found more common than other things. I don't know if it's found more common than coal or whatnot, all those other things, oil and stuff. I think it's more common than oil, because oil you have to get in specific places. They're more popular in specific places, but uranium essentially you can get it everywhere and anywhere. It's in the rocks, the soil, rivers, oceans, everywhere and anywhere. Like probably not volcanoes, maybe mountains. I'm not sure. Fun fact that uranium is actually found 40 times more than silver is found, and it is 500 times more common than gold as well. So uranium is literally everywhere. It's all continents, all states, everywhere. Another disadvantage is waste is harmful for a period of time. So this also has to go with the half-life. For that period of time before it decays into a non-radiant substance, it's harmful, very harmful, and that's another reason why they take precautions. But once again, if there were to be a meltdown, if there were to be an accident, it'd harm the environment, it'd harm the people, like very, very greatly, and that'd be absolutely terrible. Another disadvantage is Woodstock is a classic town, and classic town. What I mean by that is it's family friendly. People come here to visit. They like to see things, the opera house, the square, the farmers market. Farmers markets are kind of everywhere, so I don't know. I guess that depends on where you live. But it's a very family friendly town, and if you were to put a power plant in Emerson Park, probably the best known park for this town, that would kind of ruin its reputation. It would, to me, it seemed more of an industrial town rather than classic. So you think of the Industrial Revolution, all the smoke, all the smog, all that CO2 in the air because of the machinery. Even though there is no CO2 being released into the air from nuclear power plants, so that's what I imagine if there was a nuclear power plant in this town. It just wouldn't look the same. It wouldn't feel the same. People wouldn't look at it like another town to move into. They think of it as an industrial town, as I just said. They think of like, oh, that's going to be a dirty town. It's going to be all gloomy and stuff. And yeah, it would ruin a nuclear power plant could ruin the reputation for this town to other people that don't know enough about nuclear power plants. Militant target. It can be a militant target, and no, ISIS, no, absolutely not. By militant target, I mean the byproducts, the things that are released from uranium fission, can actually be used as weapons. Plutonium and all those other elements, neptunium, those can all be used as weapons. Less than 20 pounds of plutonium is needed to make a simple nuclear weapon. I'm not sure what they mean by simple nuclear weapon, but nuclear weapon, just that's bad, wrong, evil, like bad. So that's not good. And other things like neptunium, as I just said, and some other elements, they're not considered radioactive enough to preclude theft. So I mean, they're not radioactive enough to want to be stolen. Okay, they don't make really cool weapons. They don't make nuclear weapons, but most of those elements, the ones that are not radioactive enough, can be used to make a weapon. They are weapon usable. I'm not sure for what, but the fact that you can use them for a weapon is pretty bad, and this is why terrorists might want to attack these nuclear power plants, not to blow it up, because that's pretty hard, and I think they know that's hard, but to steal the waste from it, to reprocess the waste, to use it for themselves, to experiment on it, to build weapons and whatnot, whatever all those terrorists do. The last disadvantage is going to be there's not enough area. So nuclear power plants essentially take up a lot of area, and I'm not sure if Emerson actually is big enough to cover that area. As I said, I don't know. Yeah, as you know, Emerson's filled with trees and woods and kind of woods. I mean, more trees. So, very hilly, very hilly. And I don't know the requirements for land for a nuclear power plant. I would assume flat land, because when I think of a nuclear power plant, I think of flat land. You don't want something on a hill going and then something like dropping down or whatnot. I don't know. So if there were to be a nuclear power plant in Emerson, they need to probably clear out some trees, flatten the ground and stuff. I mean, it'd just take a lot of work, and I don't know if it's worth it just for a simple nuclear power plant. So those were the disadvantages. All that information came from Tyler, my partner. I take no credit for this. I'm just the one saying it. Yeah. Of them. Uh, Now comes the advantages. Something that I did myself. The research came from me. The information came from me. So let's get on with it. It creates little or no greenhouse gases. What's coming out of the top of a nuclear reactor is not CO2. At least not all of it. There may be a little bit CO2 just somewhere in there for some reason. Maybe a little bit, a little radiation. You know how that goes. No, probably most likely not. It's mostly going to be steam, and that does not produce greenhouse gases. That's not a greenhouse gas. It's safe for our environment. It's just water. That's it. Is that water radioactive? Is it contaminated? Maybe. Most hopefully not. I'm not completely sure. I will get back to you on that. If you're wondering, maybe I'll have the answer in class that day. Maybe I won't. Who knows? So yeah, another one is it doesn't use valuable resources. So a valuable resource, for example, would be hydrocarbons. What's a hydrocarbon? Well, a hydrocarbon is like oil, crude oil, other, I don't know, crude oil. Okay. Another one may be coal. That's also another hydrocarbon. Or well, it's not a hydrocarbon. I don't think they're hydrocarbons, but they are valuable resources because obviously they are not renewable, and they may not be as common as uranium is. I'm not sure. I don't know the statistics for that. It's a more efficient energy source. By this, it produces the same amount of energy as other things, or more as other things, such as oil mines and windmills, those windmill things that get energy from the wind and water things. They're all safe. Those are all safe, but a nuclear power plant actually produces more energy and as well being safe. For those unsafe ones, well, they can tend to power the same amount of energy, but nuclear power plants are just nuclear power plants, not pants. Nuclear power plants are just all more safer for the environment. They're more environment friendly, yeah. It's a reliable source of energy with few exceptions considering the reactors. Some reactors are different. There's obviously the boils. There's the one that doesn't boil. There's a breeder reactor. And yeah, it's cost efficient depending on the type of reactor. Once again, there's different types of reactors. Some of them are more expensive than others. Most likely we will buy the cheap one because, well, we don't have much to offer in our town, so the cheap one is what we go with. um, that was kind of a bad joke. Oh boy, that's wow. It produces little waste. By that, the waste it's producing, yes, plutonium, other byproducts, the radioactive stuff, that's actually a lot of that is that's a lot of waste being produced. But by the advantage part, a little waste that is produced that is released into the environment, that's the meaning of that. So steam, pretty much, like, that's pretty much it. I'm sure there's some other things released that I don't know about. Maybe, possibly, hopefully not. So yeah, that's the produced little waste there. The other waste is safely contained. Well, the radioactive ones, those are safely contained in containers, whether or not it's just like holding it because it's some kind of solid or liquid, or it's preventing the gas from breaching our air and poisoning us and killing us. Yeah, so they're safely contained. No worries about that. If they were to break, that'd be bad. But I mean, many precautions are taken. Yeah, many precautions are taken just so that wouldn't happen. They're very technologically advanced, and this has been worked on for years and years. New reactor designs make it a renewable resource. Um, Most of the time, it's all a renewable resource. I think what they're saying is that you don't have to keep on using the same water and water over and over again, or uranium over and over again, or you don't have to get new uranium all the time. So obviously, uranium is not, it doesn't last forever, and it's not a renewable resource. Oh boy, it's not a renewable resource, but with this new design called the breeder reactors, what it does essentially is, it instead of using plutonium 235, I believe it is, it uses plutonium 238, and the what it gives off is, you, oh my god, I said it all wrong. Instead of using uranium, not plutonium, instead of using uranium 235, it uses oh, I almost did it again. Um, Instead of using uranium 235, it actually uses uranium 238. The difference between the two is uranium 238 has a longer half-life, so it'll take longer to decay over time, I guess making it more usable. But it's also less radioactive, which is nice for the environment. I don't know how well it'll efficiently work for the nuclear power plant. Actually, I do know how it works. It's faster. It's safer. That's facts right there. Using uranium 238 makes it faster and safer for the environment. The process is faster. You know, it's just overall better. But it's a specific type of design, and obviously, it's more expensive. Shocker there. It releases plutonium 239. I think I had mentioned before. Something about uranium 238, it has 146 neutrons, and uranium 235 actually has 143 neutrons. So the behavior is different. The behavior is different. When uranium 235 fizzles, it gives off a lot of energy, making it ideal for nuclear energy. On the other hand, though, 238 does not give as much energy, but it gives different isotopes. It it has different isotopes. I can't explain it off the top of my head right now. The research is somewhere in my head. If you ask me in class later, I'll be able to explain it more, hopefully. So please ask. So if you're getting confused, I'm getting confused, as you just saw. So ask, please. um, Reactor technology is now well developed. As you just saw, there are things called breeder reactors. They're faster, they're more reliable, and the innovation of nuclear reactors can only go forward. You know, look you never look back in the past. You never go backwards. You can never fall down with technology. You can hit a wall, but eventually that wall will be overcome. Something that they might be able to do in the future is make nuclear power plants more compact. They might be able to make them smaller so they're not taking up so much area, making it so that you wouldn't need such a large area such as Emerson Park for it. You could use some outskirt of the town or whatnot. Actually, I don't know why they don't use some kind of outskirt of the town, you know, like one of those farmlands or whatnot. Um, yes, that's that. Those were all the advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, if you have any questions, which you probably do because I'm pretty bad at explaining things, ask at the end of the presentation. Me and Tyler will do our best to answer those questions. Hopefully, I have answered my own questions I'm questioning myself about right now. And if you have the same questions, I can answer them for you too, hopefully. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. If you were watching, I mean, some of that, I mean, it was pretty good, you know, pretty good. And yeah, have a nice day, and I'll see you now. because I'm in the same class as you. Alright, now I'm just talking. So this is kind of awkward. Yeah. Longest game in the world. You need to be aggressive. Put aggro on me. Well, you're getting confused being aggressive.
You're almost there.
No, you do stuff to me. That red bar is my health. No scope.
Heavy ammo inbound.
You ready? Ready? Watch this, watch this. Oh, that didn't kill me. I thought you were gonna...
Heavy ammo available. You can fight by my
Oh
side
no! I didn't mean to win, I'm
anytime,
sorry. I meant
darling.
to... There, you killed me! Look at that! Woo! Well, I mean, technically I already won, so... Wait, how do you get 23? Oh, that's right, you killed yourself. I was about to say, how do you have one more death than me killing you? Well, no, I already won, so... My bad. I actually don't owe you $10. You misread the fine print. You misread the... It is in the game. You had to be able to do it before the game ended. The game had already ended. You wanna... Yeah. It's okay, I'm okay. I mean, I'm always alone on weekends, you know.